Why does my pump trip the breaker when it turns on?
Well, there's several components in the pump. If it buzzes and then trips, likely that is the capacitor. And what that does in the pump, when you energize a pump, it has a charge in a capacitor that's designed to kick the motor, to get it to spin, to get that shaft to spin. Because once the shaft is spinning, then you have the electricity flowing through the coil, creating the magnetic field to allow the shaft to spin. That works just fine. But if the capacitor isn't charged, it doesn't give that jolt to get the shaft to spin. A lot of times what happens is you'll get a buzzing sound, and then it's drawing too much amperage because it's not spinning, because that shaft is not spinning, and that will pop the breaker. That would be my first suggestion. Secondly would be if it makes no sound and it just clicks off, it means clearly there's a short in the pump, whether it's in the wiring and all the wiring harness in the back of the pump, whether it's in the coil of the pump itself, in the wiring inside the pump itself. If it just pops instantly, it could be that. Another possibility could be the shaft is frozen and it can't turn, nothing can get it to turn, and you'll tend to hear a little bit of a buzz before that pops as well. Other than that, it could be wet. It could be in a wet environment is another thing. If the components get wet on the inside and they're not quote unquote supposed to, but that does happen, and you're getting a short, and as soon as it's shorting out, it's popping as well. So it could be many different electrical components in there. It could be the capacitor, it could be wet environment, it could be a frozen shaft. There's several of those possibilities.